The Henderson family's monthly dinner at their Michelin-starred restaurant, Le Maison, felt more like a culinary inquisition than a family gathering. Crystal stemware worth more than my yearly fertilizer budget caught the light as my sister Victoria adjusted her executive chef's jacket, 3 prestigious culinary medals glinting on her lapel. 3 new restaurants opening next month, she announced, critiquing the soup's consistency with her gold-plated spoon. The critics are already calling them the most ambitious culinary ventures of the year. Dad beamed, his own restaurateur awards displayed prominently behind him in the private dining room. That's my girl. Expanding the Henderson hospitality empire the right way. I stirred my soup quietly, noting how they'd used conventionally grown vegetables instead of organic. The difference in flavor was obvious, but they'd never understand. My phone buzzed discreetly, another message from the Royal Palace's procurement team. Unlike some of us, Mom added, her designer dress probably worth more than my entire greenhouse, who waste time playing farmer instead of pursuing real culinary arts. Sustainable agriculture is an art, I offered softly, checking the palace's latest order requirements. The relationship between soil and flavor. Victoria snorted, her French culinary school ring catching the light. Flavor? You mean dirt? How many covers did your farm-to-table experiment serve this year, Emma? 2. 3. Impact isn't measured in covers, I started, but Dad cut me off. Impact is everything in this business. Victoria served 300 VIPs just last night. I've got waiting lists months long at all 15 restaurants. Your mother's cooking school has a 2-year waiting list. And you've, what? Grow carrots. I glanced at my watch. A humble piece that hid its connection to some of the most exclusive kitchens in Europe. 20 minutes until the meeting that would change everything. Actually, my organic farming methods have been organic. Victoria laughed, the sound sharp as her prized Japanese knives. You mean overpriced vegetables that look like they've been through a war? Real restaurants need consistency, volume, presentation. Mom reached across the table, her diamond-encrusted hands a stark contrast to my soil-stained fingers. Darling, perhaps it's time to admit that the culinary world isn't for everyone. We could find you a nice position managing one of our cafes. Something more suitable. The hidden message alert vibrated again. Royal chef arriving in 15 minutes. Final inspection of produce before state dinner. The future of cuisine isn't just in fancy restaurants, I tried explaining, knowing they wouldn't listen. They never did. The future. Dad scoffed, swirling his imported wine. The future is in molecular gastronomy, in fusion cuisine, in innovative presentation. Not in playing around in the dirt with your little organic experiments. Victoria stood, adjusting her perfectly pressed chef's whites. Speaking of which, I should check on the new tasting menu. Got some food critics coming in tonight. Something you'd know about, Emma, if you hadn't wasted your culinary degree on farming. The restaurant's grand doors opened and our maitre d' hurried in looking flustered. Mademoiselle Emma, he announced with a slight bow. His Majesty's Royal Chef is here. Says it's about the urgent produce order for tomorrow's state dinner. The room fell silent as Chef Jean-Pierre Dubois, head chef to the royal family and holder of more Michelin stars than most countries, strode in, his presence commanding immediate attention. Mademoiselle Emma, he bowed slightly, Your Majesty's organic farms supply all our royal restaurants and state functions now. We must discuss tomorrow's requirements. Victoria's spoon clattered against fine china. Royal restaurants? Oui, Chef Dubois nodded, pulling out an elaborate tablet displaying produce orders. Mademoiselle Emma's Heritage Farm supplies all 7 royal kitchens, 3 Michelin-starred royal restaurants and of course His Majesty's personal table. Dad's face flushed darker than his expensive wine. That's impossible. Emma just has that little plot of land outside the city. Little. I smiled, finally pulling out my own tablet. The holographic display filled the private dining room with 3D maps of my agricultural empire. You mean the 2,000 acres of certified organic farmland? The one with the proprietary soil enhancement system that's revolutionizing organic farming. Mom's hand trembled as she reached for her water. 2,000 acres? But you told us that I was playing in the dirt? I completed her thought. While you were mocking my little garden, I was developing farming methods that have changed the way royal kitchens source their ingredients. Methods that just received a €50 million grant from the European Agricultural Commission. The holograms shifted to show my real operation. Vast greenhouses using cutting-edge technology, vertical farming towers that maximized space and yield, and soil monitoring systems that could predict optimal growing conditions months in advance. That's just fancy gardening, Victoria tried, but her voice cracked. It's not real culinary art. Non. Chef Dubois raised an eyebrow. The vegetables in your soup tonight, bland, yes? No depth of flavor, no character. Compare them to... He opened his briefcase, producing a small container of my cherry tomatoes. These are what His Majesty demands at every meal. Taste. Victoria bit into a tomato, her trained palate unable to hide her reaction. Her eyes widened as layers of flavor exploded across her tongue. Impossible, she whispered. That's what the French Agricultural Ministry said. I nodded. Until my methods produced vegetables with 300% higher nutrient density and flavor profiles that made conventional produce taste like plastic. The holographic display shifted to show my research facility. Not the small farmhouse they'd imagined, but a state-of-the-art agricultural science center. The words Heritage Farms Agricultural Innovation Center, Emma Henderson, Chief Agricultural Officer, floated above real-time feeds from dozens of growing zones. Your new restaurant openings next month, Victoria? I smiled slightly. They've been delayed. The Royal Procurement Office has first rights to all heritage farm produce. Good luck finding comparable ingredients. First rights, she choked. To my little sister's vegetables? To the most sought-after organic produce in Europe, Chef Dubois corrected. The waiting list for heritage farm supply contracts is 3 years long. Even for Michelin-starred establishments. Dad stood abruptly, his restaurateur confidence wilting like week-old lettuce. This is absurd. Real restaurants require quality. I interrupted, pulling up more data. Like the 95% increase in flavor compound concentration? The perfect uniformity that your consistent industrial farms can't match? Or perhaps the fact that every royal chef in Europe now insists on heritage farm produce. The restaurant's sound system chimed as another alert came through. Chef Dubois checked his phone. The state dinner preparations. Of course, I gathered my things, including the tablet that controlled more agricultural innovation than my family had managed in their entire culinary careers combined. Victoria, since you're so interested in quality ingredients, you're welcome to tour the farms. Assuming you have the security clearance. Security clearance? Mom's voice pitched higher. For a farm. For an agricultural facility that supplies every royal household in Europe, Chef Dubois explained. The waiting list for even a basic tour is 18 months. I paused at the door, looking back at their stunned faces. Oh, and Victoria. Those food critics tonight? They've been exclusively eating heritage farm produce at royal functions for the past year. Interesting how perspective changes when you realize what real flavor is. The bitter taste of reality was finally reaching their refined palates, and it was more satisfying than any dish they'd ever served. The Heritage Farm's main conference center gleamed in the morning sun, its glass walls overlooking acres of precision-controlled organic cultivation. My family shuffled in like chastened culinary students, their designer outfits looking out of place among the agricultural innovation displays. Victoria's chef whites seemed particularly stark against the living wall of vertical herbs behind her. Welcome to the future of agriculture. I addressed the gathered crowd of Michelin-starred chefs, royal procurement officers and agricultural scientists. Today, we demonstrate our new flavor enhancement protocols. Flavor enhancement? Victoria scoffed weakly. You mean fertilizer? I mean revolutionary soil biology manipulation, I corrected, activating the room's central holographic system. A complex molecular structure appeared, rotating slowly. This is what makes heritage farm produce unique. We're not just growing food, we're engineering flavor at the cellular level. Dad leaned forward, his restaurateur's curiosity piqued despite himself. But taste is subjective. Is it? Chef Dubois interrupted, joining me at the front. Your daughter's tomatoes contain 47 distinct flavor compounds. Industrial farms manage 5, maybe 6. The science is quite objective. The screens surrounding the room lit up with live feeds from our various growing zones. each one showcasing different aspects of our proprietary system: soil monitoring robots, atmospheric control units, and AI-driven nutrient delivery systems. 3 years ago, I continued, pulling up comparison data, while you were mocking my dirt obsession, I was developing algorithms that could predict and enhance flavor profiles before the seeds were even planted. 2 years ago, while you bragged about your restaurant empire, I was revolutionizing agricultural science with quantum soil analysis and microbiome engineering. Mom's perfectly manicured hands clutched her designer handbag. But your culinary degree, you left the restaurant business to lead a €50 million research initiative. I completed her thought. The same initiative that just made Heritage Farms the exclusive supplier to every royal household in Europe. The room's AI system activated, projecting detailed soil analysis data around each person. Beginning demonstration sequence, it announced. Showing real-time flavor development in Test Field 7. Test Field 7? Victoria stood, her culinary pride crumbling. What's happening? I smiled, remembering all the times she'd dismissed my playing in the dirt. We're about to show you how we can control and enhance flavor development in real time. Something your industrial suppliers can't even begin to comprehend. The color drained from Dad's face. That's not possible. Actually, Chef Dubois interjected, it's why we're all here. Heritage Farms methods have been designated as a national secret by 3 European governments. The flavor profiles they achieve are considered a matter of state security. The screens erupted with live data from the test fields. Robots moved with precise coordination, adjusting soil conditions microscopically, while AI systems monitored and adjusted flavor development in real time. Mon Dieu, Mom whispered, watching the process unfold. The precision, the control, are beyond traditional agriculture, I nodded. Which is why the Royal Procurement Office has exclusive rights to our entire production, including the new varieties we're developing specifically for state functions. Victoria sank into her chair. Our restaurants will need new suppliers, I confirmed. Though good luck finding comparable quality. By the way, those critic reviews you're so proud of? They've been comparing everything to our produce for the past year. Might explain your recent drop in ratings. 1 month after the demonstration that revolutionized culinary agriculture, I stood in my command center overlooking the vast expanse of Heritage Farms. The morning sun illuminated our newest addition, a glass-domed research facility larger than my family's flagship restaurant. Wall-to-wall screens displayed real-time data from our global operations, soil conditions, flavor profiles, and growth metrics from every precision-controlled acre. Ms. Henderson, my AI assistant announced, your family has arrived for their procurement meeting. Send them in, I replied, adjusting the environmental controls that maintained our proprietary growing conditions. The same technology they'd once called a wasteful investment. They entered like humbled food critics after a disappointing meal. Victoria without her usual chef's swagger, Dad clutching desperate supplier contracts, and Mom's designer outfit somehow less impressive among the agricultural innovation displays. Let's review your situation, I began, bringing up their restaurant's performance data. Victoria, your new restaurant's openings have been delayed indefinitely, she admitted, her chef's whites lacking their usual crispness. No supplier can match the quality our critics expect. We've lost 3 Michelin stars across the group. 3 stars so far, the AI corrected. Current projections suggest 2 more will be lost next quarter unless produce quality improves significantly. Dad shuffled his contracts. About our supply chain is inadequate, I cut in, displaying comparative flavor analyses. Your current supplier's produce shows 72% lower flavor compound concentration than our baseline. The critics have noticed. But our reputation, he started, was built on quality you can no longer access. I moved to the floor-to-ceiling windows. Interesting how important playing in the dirt becomes when it affects your bottom line. Mom's hands twisted her designer scarf. The cooking school enrollment has dropped 60% since you lost access to Heritage Farm produce. I turned back. Students are transferring to programs that have our teaching contracts. Culinary education requires quality ingredients, Mom. The screens shifted to show our global impact. exclusive contracts with every major royal household, 3-year waiting lists for supply agreements, and a revolutionary new growing system that made traditional agriculture obsolete. Your options, I continued, are limited but clear. Close your restaurants and cooking schools or... Please, Victoria whispered, her culinary metals seeming to dim. We need those contracts. Need. I raised an eyebrow. Like I needed your support when I started this? Like I needed your respect when I chose agriculture over restaurants. The AI chimed softly. Ms. Henderson, the Royal Procurement Office has arrived for the seasonal planning session. Thank you, I acknowledged, then turned back to my family. I'm offering you a choice. Convert your restaurants to Heritage Farm showcase venues, under our complete control and standards. Your chefs will need to be retrained in our flavor optimization protocols. Dad's face reddened. Complete control. But our culinary vision is outdated, I finished. Our produce requires specific preparation methods to maximize flavor profiles. Your vision will need to adapt. And the cooking school? Mom asked quietly. It will join our culinary agriculture program, I said. Students will learn that flavor starts in the soil, not just on the stove. Victoria stood. Emma, about all those times we laughed at your farming. They taught me lessons about agricultural innovation, I smiled. The same lessons your chefs will now learn in our retraining program. The screens showed their restaurants losing money, while Heritage Farm's profits soared. Each chart a clear reminder. The tables had turned. The contracts are ready, I continued. Sign today and we'll supply your restaurants next quarter. Wait and you'll join the 3-year queue. 3 years. Dad's voice cracked. We'll be bankrupt in 3 months. You should have thought of that before mocking sustainable agriculture, I replied. Flavor, like karma, grows from what you plant. As they left, replaced by eager royal procurement officers, I watched them pass our new lab. A molecular gastronomy center studying soil flavor interactions. The sign read, The Future of Flavor, Heritage Farms Innovation Center. Through the windows, our experimental fields stretched to the horizon. Each acre proved that the best revenge isn't served on a plate. It grows in the soil they ignored. Mom paused at the door.